The Second Industrial Revolution. There was rapid industrial growth and many technological advancements. The expansion of the railroad network with the Transcontinental Railroad with the help of government subsidies allowed for easier travel and transportation of goods. The Transcontinental Railroad was a continuous rail line constructed between Omaha, Nebraska, and San Francisco Bay, California. It connected the east and west coasts, opening up the opportunity for the easy travel of people and goods from coast to coast. As a result of the expansion of the railroad system, there was an increase in expansionist ideas and population due to the fast travel. Some prevailing ideas that had emerged were more closely followed and advocated for, such as manifest destiny, which was demonstrated in the acquisition of Alaska in 1867. Manifest destiny was the idea that white Americans were divinely ordained to settle the entire continent of North America. This belief of American superiority inspired many Americans to move to the West and try to get rich by cultivating farms and/or mining the gold and natural resources that were prevalent in modern-day Cali, Nevada, and Montana. The discovery of gold in these areas led to significant immigration from China and Mexico. The government didn't like them. As settlers and homesteaders moved westward to improve the land given to them through the Homestead Act, they realized that the land was difficult to farm. There were few building materials, and harsh weather, insects, and inexperience led to frequent setbacks. The Homestead Act was the 1862 act that gave 160 acres of free western land to any applicant who occupied and improved the property. This policy led to the rapid development of the American West after the Civil War, facing arid conditions in the West. Due to the government's influence in westward expansion, many people were moving. However, this led to increased tensions with the natives once again, because they were forced to move to different, less fertile areas of the West and had to give their land to the Americans. The Indian Appropriations Act of 1871 stated that any no longer was any group of Indians in the United States recognized as an independent nation by the federal government, sending them to reservations. The Battle of Little Bighorn resulted from Western encroachment and the reservation system. The U.S. Army ignored treaties and invaded the region after discovering gold, leading to conflict with Sioux and Cheyenne tribesmen who had moved to camps after the betrayal. The Dawes Severalty Act of 1887 was later passed to assimilate Native Americans in U.S. society, stripping even more tribal land from the natives and sold to non-natives. Massacre at Wounded Knee. A massacre in 1890 that started when Sioux left the reservation in protest because of the death of Sitting Bull. The U.S. Army killed 150 Sioux at Wounded Knee. This was the last major armed conflict between the U.S. and Plains Indians. Urbanization and immigration. Due to the building of factories, there were plenty more unskilled jobs for people to take. This increase in opportunities to make money caused urbanization. Not only did Southern Americans move to the cities, but so did immigrants from other countries. For example, a majority were from Western and Northern European nations like Britain, Ireland, and Germany. Urbanization is a population shift from rural to urban areas. Farmers moved to the cities to work in factories because of the decrease in demand for labor in rural on farms. bad revolution. While the mechanization of factories and travel allowed for a generally lower cost of living, the factories and their owners often caused widespread pollution around the urban areas. This leaked into the lives of civilians, causing many to become sick due to polluted waters and air. This made their already terrible living conditions get even worse. The increased population in cities led to an increase in poor housing situations. Not only did they use illegal business practices to wipe out competition, but they hired immigrants because they could pay them lower wages than native-born Americans. They were forced to work long hours in the factories and worked in terrible, dangerous conditions. As a result of these conditions, there was a rise in labor unions and worker strikes, such as the Haymarket Square riot and the Pullman strike. The muckrakers were reform-minded journalists, writers, and photographers in the Progressive Era in the United States, 1890s, 1920s, who claimed to expose corruption and wrongdoing in established institutions, often through sensationalist publications. This movement led to more laws and such passed to prevent trusts and monopolies, with the government trying to spread wealth around. It helped the poor people. Okay, bye guys, was this last minute maybe, but we ate.